Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here, coming at you with another manga chapter reaction video. This time reacting to manga chapter 198 of Dr. Stone. And oh boy, am I excited for this, because I've been wanting to read this chapter ever since last chapter, where, they just discussed the morality of immortality when it comes to science and whether or not it should exist. And I think in this chapter, we're going to get more into that, which I'm very fascinated with. Weirdly enough, I'm not the type of philosophy type of guy, but I still find it interesting that they're diving into philosophy in Dr. Stone when it comes to the dichotomy some people may have when it comes to science and philosophy, which in actuality can go hand in hand when it comes to certain scientific advancements and the moralities of those scientific advancements, and most likely that is something that's going to come up in this chapter, hopefully. So I'm very excited to read it, and hopefully you're excited to see me react to this chapter. And if you are, subscribe to that YouTube channel of Big Blue Drew 97 and hit that notification bell, because I do manga chapter reactions to different Shonen Jump properties in Shonen Jump every Sunday. So if that's something that you're looking forward to, keep watching this video and subscribe. And without the way, let's jump right into it, because I'm very excited to see what's going to be going on in this chapter of Dr. Stone. And weirdly enough, we are actually starting the chapter off not with we are starting it off with Kaseki, but we're not starting it off with Senku and Tsukasa, but we're actually starting it off with Kaseki and Chrome, as Kaseki is just enjoying life, being happy. He's drunk. Chrome is also drunk. Oh, that makes sense, because I think they're around 20 and the drinking age is 20 in Japan. So I think that's cool, as Chrome is most likely thinking to himself, to keep Kaseki alive a little longer, we actually could have left him petrified. I mean, if we revive him normally, Kaseki will pass on before the rest of us. Oh, that's sad to think about. Never thought about that before. You shouldn't talk philosophy when you're drunk, as now Chrome is having these thoughts in his mind and is now going over towards Tsukasa and Senku, as they're about to talk about the philosophy of the Medusa, as we get the Medusa's light can even revive the dead. From this moment forth, we and the rest of humanity have everlasting life. As you have Chrome like, bah! Just like being excited. It's like, for real? Awesome! That means Kaseki doesn't have to die! And I mean, yeah, I understand that feeling, not wanting a old person that you cherish to die. But yeah, we're just jumping right into it with Dr. Stone, Z equals -98, a whole new world. A whole new world. I'm not going to sing the rest of that. I can't. Let's just get back into the chapter. As you have basically Xeno just looking, not Xeno, Senku just looking at it like, yeah, maybe. All thanks to the Y-Man. As you have Chrome like, we've been calling this guy a villain just cause he's scary. Come on. Seems like he's a swell dude at this point. And then Chrome's like, but wait, but he's still trying to petrify us. Hard to get a read on this Y-Man fella. I mean, we don't even know if it's actually a person. It could be an alien. We just don't know. It's like, well, just have to go and ask them personally before another wave of Medusas descends upon us. Yeah, that could also be a possibility. Yep. And all it takes is a journey to the moon. Whoa. What are we doing? If it's a moon mission we're planning, oh, what's this? How convenient. We just so happen to have a bona fide expert in our midst. Just like, he gets our 17th dose of freshly made revival fluid. You sure you should revive Xeno? Yeah, are you sure? Remember he attempted to kill you like 7 years ago, and is still probably assuming on trying to kill you now? And even Tsukasa's like, it'll be fine. Right, we got Tsukasa on our side. Xeno won't know what hit him if he tries anything funny. Assuming Stanley is kept out of the picture. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna revive Xeno, you can't revive Stanley. That's just point blank. You cannot do it. And I wonder if Xeno's gonna still have his black lines. Probably, because obviously. As you have Chrome like, hey, I don't know, guys. It ain't so much about muscles and weapons anymore. the rules of our world have changed 10 billion%. As we have Xeno once again coming to revive. It's like the light of mortality, how truly elegant, violating the natural order with nefarious science. Nefarious? You mean like bad? What's so wrong about it? Oh, come on, please dive into the morality of it. As someone saying, I don't know who's saying this, like, yeah, it's Chrome. Nobody's dying ever again. Sounds like the baddest sort of science. Can't wait to tell everyone. As you have Tsukasa saying, living forever may be a fate worse than death. Imagine an unending world. Our planet could be covered with tens of billions or even trillions of the elderly. Food and other resources are limited. All that would await us is a dystopia where some tyrant plays God and chooses who must be petrified via eternal petrification. Yeah. Because here's the thing. It makes people immortal, but it doesn't stop people from, like, aging. Now, if it could do that, oh, this would be a totally different conversation. But yeah, from what we're confirming right now, it doesn't stop people from aging. And, yeah. And even, like, Senku was like, we still don't know if we can stave off cell decay and the aging process. And given our devices dead batteries, we can't run clinical trials. Exactly. Until these mysteries are solved, the big secret must remain with us for. Okay, obviously Chrome is going to be involved with it because he's always involved with secrets. But yeah, that makes so much sense. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they actually don't know if it can truly stave off, like stop the aging process. They're just assuming it because as far as we know, it could. And that even though, yeah, you could theoretically grow older, we just don't know the specifics of it. And also, if that's the case, then, you know, people would still be trying to fight over it and control it. Because if any future revivees learn that they're immortal in this new world, then the rules as we know them will shatter and will quickly lose control. Yeah, because people are fucking crazy and evil, like Xeno. Power over life and death, as Xeno was saying, itself, Dr. Stone. Anyone could command such power, could truly become the perfect tyrant. Yet, you decide to loop me in all the same? I wonder why you take that risk. Yes, because you are literally one of the tyrants. Also, Dr. Stone. Okay, I see now. I thought Dr. Stone was supposed to be referring to soap. No, now we're referring to the literal Medusa, Dr. Stone, turning everyone to stone, having immortality. It all loops together. Cool. Oh, and apparently we have Senku bringing out the transmission device. And he's like, that's the earpiece we use to communicate on Treasure Island. Our pal Y-Man's been saying 12,800 million meters 1 second. So I tuned the earpiece frequency to match that broadcast from the moon's surface. Kazoo. Pure radio silence. Y-Man's stony message was beaming down non-stop before, but since the second it hit home and petrified us, he hasn't said a word. Seems pretty clear, right, Xeno? I mean, we still don't know why, but Y-Man's is hell-bent on petrifying everyone as long as humans are alive on Earth. Like I said, we've got new rules in this new world. Dreams of being a tyrant will get you nowhere fast. I mean, yeah, because if the Y-Man continuously bombs, that means you can't have radios, which means you can't really communicate with each other. Okay, yeah. So they have to figure out what the Y-Man's doing before they can really dive more into what it means to be immortal now. So I think that's going to be cool. As Senku is once again saying, humanity might be immortal now, but the price we'll pay for that is a life sentence in Y-Man's stony prison. So if we ain't happy with that trade-off by bringing this negotiation to the moon itself, I see we must, oh my gosh, I missed something. So if we ain't happy with that trade-off, I see we must settle the matter by bringing this negotiation to the moon itself. Okay. So unfortunately, we aren't going to be diving directly into like the philosophy of like being immortal yet. But it still doesn't change the plan that they're still planning on going to the moon, because even if they want to be immortal, because they have the Medusa device, and because the white man still exists, he can petrify everyone into stone at any moment, so it doesn't really matter if you're immortal or not, if the white man exists. As we cut over to, oh, it's Stanley. Oh my gosh, this is terrifying. All of Stanley Snyder's assaults on us were a justifiable act of warfare, or it's A, justifiable act of warfare, or B, attempted murder. It's our testimony that counts here. Am I wrong? Oh yeah, Ryusui, yeah, it's totally based off your justification, which, I mean, to be fair, it's actually more or less both. Once civilization is up and running, and we're ready to revive Stanley, I suppose we'll all go with option A. That's what we can offer, dear Xeno. I mean, yeah, you could say that and be a dick that he committed attempted murder, but just in case, like, Xeno gets on your side, and to spare Stanley, we'll just say that it was a justified act of warfare. It's war, it's justified, it makes sense. I can wait for him to come back. I can wait. And what I can offer you is a full and willing cooperation as one of NASA's rocketry experts, right? Truly an elegant exchange. Okay, so he's planning on working with them as long as Stanley doesn't get convicted of attempted murder. You're a good best friend. He's like, "Ha! This sounds risky. Letting Xeno join the crew?" Max and other guy. Gosh, I keep forgetting their names. Max and Carlos. And now you have Chrome's like, "I got a feeling Xeno won't betray us or anything, especially given the situation." Yeah, it's like 16-1. Yeah, no, I don't like those odds, and I doubt Xeno does either. As we have Geen saying, "Yes, this is rather key. This whole dog and pony show about dear Xeno's corporation is mere precedence when it truly is about his pride." Hang on, Geen, did you overhear all that last night? Whatever could you be referring to? I mean, yeah, it makes sense that Geen would know about it because he's a mentalist. He's the one that, like, was able to distract everyone while Tsukasa and Senku were talking, so it makes sense that he would know. As we also get this one image of, like, Xeno looking at Stanley with these, like, fuck me eyes. But there's actually, like, more like puppy dog eyes. Because he's like, "Ah, dear Stanley." I'm just imagining what he's thinking in this moment. Like, "Ah, dear Stanley, I can't wait for us to be reunited once again." As we have Xeno leaving Stanley, having memories of him as well as Senku, as he lights a cigarette in the stone Stanley's mouth for some, well, it makes sense because Stanley really likes to smoke, and Xeno puts on his black jacket. Hey, black jacket boys. Yeah, as he has officially joined the Kingdom of Science for now. As whoa, are they already about to build a rocket ship? Okay, no, okay, they haven't yet. Okay, I'm just making sure. Okay, but we do get this one panel, and it's very cool, of both Senku as well as Xeno with their black jackets, which is why I put this on. And it's like, it's taken 10 years, well, technically 3,700 years, for us to finally team up. Time to build a stone world spaceship. Oh, here we go. Oh, and we have a roadmap for it as well. Oh, this is going to be great. What's a good reason to get excited? As we have them starting off the roadmap, started with raw materials, super alloys, I have to do that. High powered dynamite, oh gosh, aluminum, okay, that's not actually, liquid oxygen producer, okay. Oh, an engine, oil, oh gosh. And it all goes to like level 99, which includes rubber, glass, plastic, thoramine, fluorine. You also need a computer, rocket engine, spaceship, gold. So, all right, we're getting into it. We're still going down that path of getting them into space, which is cool. They still need to go to certain areas to get like the people that's needed, because I mean, yeah, they have. Well, I guess they don't really need to go to America because they have not Stanley, Xeno, who may be like efficient enough to do all of this by himself. But maybe they still may go to China Europe just to gather 1 or 2 people and bring them back to South America, maybe. But like based off this roadmap, I think they are preparing to do everything here and now, which is very interesting. But I think that from here on out, we are going to be getting more into each chapter finding something new that they need, or trying to make a new scientific advancement to basically get them close to the point of making this spaceship. I guess I'm going into review mode now. So most likely what's going to be going on in the next few chapters, since we're starting off with super alloys, they're probably going to gather up the super alloys. They're probably going to have to find a way to create this super powered dynamite, and then from there find the aluminum, create the engine, like I said, liquid oxygen producer. They're going to have to spend multiple chapters, multiples of chapters gathering the materials, building up these certain things. But because they have both Senku and Xeno on their side now, they're probably able to do this faster, but it still will require a lot of effort. So most likely each chapter we're going to be filling in like probably like a small part of this entire roadmap. And like when I mean by small part, I mean like one bubble before we move on to the next like area. Like it's gonna take a while. It may take like maybe 20 or 30 chapters, and we still don't know if they're going to be traveling around the world unpetrifying their friends, which most likely they are going to be doing. They may have to go back to Corn City. They have to go back to the island. What was the name of the island? I forgot, but they would have to go back to that island as well, go back to Japan to unpetrify all of their friends so that they could potentially help. It's going to be a lot of work, and I can't wait to see like this process going on a little bit more. But if anything, what I would say is a little bit disappointing about this chapter is that we really didn't get into the philosophy of immortality. We kind of touched upon it, which is basically like how Tsukasa and as well as Senku bring up the idea of like how living forever may be like a fate worse than death, especially with they not knowing whether or not the petrification device, the Medusa, is able to halt aging, which means that unless they're able to test it, they won't specifically know it, and because they're the only ones here, they can't really test it. Also, apparently the Medusa is dead, so even if they wanted to use it, it may be dead also because the Medusa's all the way in North America, so they can't really test the trials, can't really test them. So it's going to be very difficult to actually see if like it will be able to do that. But then they also bring up the idea that even if that's the case, that there's still going to be people who, if they realize that they are immortal, they're going to try and take over the world, or they're going to try to change the world because the rules of the world would change. The rules that we know now are based off us having a finite amount of time, but in a world where immortality is a thing and time isn't really a factor anymore, people will go fucking crazy. Just think about what we do right now with our limited time, and just imagine what we could do in a world where our time is basically endless. And there's also the idea of that living forever may be a fate worse than death, and there could be other speculations to that. But then, like I said, you have a character like Xeno who, with that power and with that knowledge, he would definitely attempt to rule the world, because it would be like he could choose who can be revived and who will stay dead. And it's like, oh, you've gotten too old? Alright, be petrified forever. Yeah, that's horrible when you think about it. Immortality through petrification is horrible if you're unable to actually live your life. And they kind of touch upon that, but I really would have loved for them to touch on it more. But I think that because they brought it up and how they say, oh, they're not going to worry about that until the Y-Man is gone. Because here's the thing, no matter how much they want to build up the planet, and even if they have this device that allows them to be immortal, basically, the Y-Man still exists. And we get the confirmation that at least in this moment in the story, the Y-Man isn't concerned because most of humanity is unpetrified. The only exception is like literally like 16, 17 people. So he may not be concerned about that, but he may be concerned about like if like a population of the planet gets to like being a little bit more, like maybe if like 100 people appear on the earth, he'll start chanting down the radius or the diameter of the earth to petrify everyone once again. Basically, even though they have the ability to be immortal, because the Y-Man exists, he's there to put them in an immortal prison, which people may consider being worse than death. So they still have to take out the Y-Man before they can really dive into like the philosophy and the morality of being able to live forever, because as long as the Y-Man is still alive, it doesn't matter whether or not they are immortal or not through the rock stones, that they're always going to eventually reach a point where the entire world is going to be petrified, and they're basically going to be in a sort of like stone prison no matter how they look at it. As well as the fact that now Dr. Stone, instead of referring to soap, is now referring to the immortality of it. That brings a different context to the title of this series, Dr. Stone, which could be classified as immortality if we're equating Dr. Stone to immortality in this series. But yeah, I really would have loved to get more of that in this chapter, but I know for a fact that because they bring this up and they say, oh, we'll talk about it a little bit later, most likely they're going to bring it up when they actually confront the Y-Man and really ask and try to understand why he wanted to petrify the world. So that's very interesting, as well as the fact that the 5 people that actually know about this is Tsukasa, Xeno, let me rephrase that, Senku, Chrome, Tsukasa, Xeno, and Gin. You know, once again, another group of people that always like are together because they're basically like the leaders of the Kingdom of Science for the most part, unless you want to exclude Xeno. But yeah, it makes sense that they would know this because they're the ones that kind of represent like the different aspects of like humanity to an extent. So it's very cool to see that there's once again going to be a secret that they're going to have to keep from everyone, and they're probably going to have to take this to their graves if they decide that they don't want immortality and that everyone should have a natural lifespan. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting moving in the story moving forward, because now we're going to have this idea of immortality always existing in the back of the head, meaning that if someone were to die, there may not be consequence, but as far as we know, the Medusas are still like out of juice. So if someone does die and they can't revive them within enough time, they could still theoretically die, because it's not like immortality as once it's used on you, you're immortal. It's only immortality once it's used on you and you remain in stone until you're eventually unpetrified. So yeah, when it comes to this chapter, I still really enjoyed this chapter. It was still worth the wait. I'm still excited to see what goes on with Dr. Stone in the future. Most likely in the next few chapters, we're going to go down that roadmap to see a little bit more on how to get to that rocket ship, gathering the materials, most likely traveling around the world, unpetrifying people while gathering materials, bringing everyone together potentially to help build this rocket ship so they can eventually confront the Y-Man. So I can't wait to read next chapter, which we're getting close to that 200 chapter milestone for Dr. Stone. I can't wait to reach that milestone. Hopefully you can't wait either. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on this video if you did. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about this chapter. What did you think about the philosophy that was addressed in Dr. Stone and the mortality? What do you think about the morality of immortality? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below, as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to be notified for whenever I upload new content. And with all that jazz, hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!